Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about my pregnancy. I am currently 28 weeks. Today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. I will be 29 weeks tomorrow. So I will be 7 months in 1 week, and the time is just flying by, which is why I haven't posted any pregnancy vlogs like I thought I was going to. Every time I wanted to do it, I just felt overwhelmed and like I have other things I need to do. I just feel like I'm in crunch mode right now. Like I've been trying to declutter my house, like just everything before the baby comes. I'm trying to figure out the nursery. I actually spent like a couple days last week painting the entire room, and we actually switched around some of the bedrooms upstairs. So the guest bedroom we had for my mom when she comes to visit, which is one I will link. I actually did a video, like a guest bedroom tour. I will link that above. Well, we moved my daughter into that room because it's a little bigger and she has more room in there. And the room we were gonna put the baby in was just the smallest out of all the bedrooms upstairs. And I couldn't rearrange the furniture in any way to make it work. So I decided to rearrange the room. So we moved my daughter out of her room into the guest bedroom, and then we moved the baby stuff, which I already had moved over to the baby's room, but we moved that now back into my daughter's room. And my daughter's room was like a purple and mint color, and I had to repaint the whole entire room. So that took me a couple days. I did like the baseboards and everything, and I will do a tour once I get it set up. I'm gradually like buying things for the room. So that has been going on. So I had my 28-week appointment yesterday. I did a glucose test, the 1-hour test, so we will see how that comes back, hopefully okay. So in my first pregnancy, I didn't have gestational diabetes or anything, so I'm hoping I don't this time either. And I also had some other blood work done, and I had my ultrasound, which was really cool because we got to see the baby in 3D. The only thing is he was kind of pretty much folded in half. Like his arms were literally like this, and so were his legs. Like he was folded in half like a tortilla. And so it was really hard to get a facial profile, but I actually switched doctor's offices. So I was going to the same doctor's office that I used for my first pregnancy, and my sister-in-law was pregnant too. She had her baby in November, and she switched doctor's offices 2 weeks before she was due. I think about 2 weeks or 3 weeks before she was due, because she was just unhappy with the doctor's office that we were going to. It's a pretty big office, especially the one near my house. They have, gosh, I'm gonna say like 10, 12 providers there. And so you don't always get to see the same person. I mean, you can request it, but a lot of times they're booked. And I don't know, I just felt like it was just too many doctors for one office. So it was kind of like you were just a number in a way. They did not let you film during ultrasounds. You cannot take pictures during ultrasounds. So I don't know, I didn't have a bad experience there, but my sister-in-law was telling me that it was night and day between the two places. So basically the reason we switched doctor's offices mainly was because we switched insurance this year. Last insurance, we were gonna deliver at a different hospital that was farther away, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to deliver at the same hospital that's literally down the street from my house, and that's where I delivered my daughter. So we switched insurances to one that is contracted with the hospital that's near us, just because it's literally like 5 minutes away, and it's just convenient. So we wanted to deliver at the same place we did the first pregnancy. So we switched insurances, and the doctor's office that I was going to did not accept the new insurance. So I had to switch doctor's offices. So I went with the place that my sister-in-law had switched to before she had her baby, because she was very happy with them. And the first day that I actually went there, I was very impressed. I thought the check-in process was better. Just overall, everybody was friendly. There's only 3 doctors at that location. So I don't know, the vibe was better. So, and they also have an online portal. You can log in, you can see your test results. If you go to your visit and there's a lot of information that they gave you, you can go over the summary of your visit. There's just a lot of benefits at this place versus the old place. So anyway, I had my 28-week ultrasound, and it was really cool because I was like, can we take pictures? Can we take a video? She goes, oh yeah. I'm like, the last place they didn't let us. And she goes, oh, I know. So that was really cool that we got to do that this time. And I felt like the lady was just very patient and wasn't in a rush. Because at the other place, I feel like the lady was in a rush all the time, every time we had an ultrasound, which was kind of annoying. So just the people and the environment, everything was just much nicer. And then the cool thing was when we had the ultrasound, she was like, oh, we don't do a printout of the actual pictures of the ultrasound. We actually text them to you and you can download them. I'm like, what? Like, this is 2019. This is 2019. Why don't all OB offices do that for ultrasounds? Like, I don't want the printout, because if I want to like send it or text it to somebody, I got to take a picture of the picture or scan it. And it's just like a ordeal. So this is just really cool that they text you the pictures of the baby. I think that's awesome. So I will insert some clips of him. I'm thinking so my husband and I think he looks like my daughter when she was in the womb. So we will see how much they look alike. Last several times that I've been to the doctor, my blood pressure has been a little bit high. When I went yesterday, the first time she took it, it was 140/80. And usually my blood pressure is not high, but I have been experiencing a bounding pulse, which I had prior to pregnancy. Basically, it's when you feel like your heart is beating so hard that your whole like body feels like it's beating. I especially notice it when I'm very tired and fatigued. So I had mentioned that at the last doctor's office. She said that's like a normal thing for some people. And I have had it prior to pregnancy once in a while. I noticed it when I'm very tired. But I told her, you know, because she's like, well, your blood pressure is a little high. Do you usually have high blood pressure? I'm like, no. And I said the last several times I went to the doctor, it was high at first, but then when they took it again, it was lower. So I don't know if it's like anxious, I'm nervous when I first go in. I don't know. So anyway, before I left, they actually took it again and it was 124/80. So it was better. I did want to check for some things in my urine. So they actually did a little extra labs just to, I guess, check on my blood pressure. On my 20-week anatomy scan ultrasound, they had found an EIF in the baby's heart. It stands for, let me look it up. Let me tell you, hold on. Basically, it's like a calcification that they see. It's like a bright white spot in the baby's heart. So it's basically an echogenic intracardiac focus, and it's a small bright spot seen in the baby's heart on an ultrasound exam. This is thought to represent mineralization or deposits of calcium in the muscle of the heart. EIFs are found in about 3 to 5% of normal pregnancies and cause no health problems. So I found this out at the last office that I used to go to when I was 20 weeks. And they said, well, not to worry now. And then gave me like a paperwork about it to kind of just go over it a little bit. But they said, again, they said that it's in 3 to 4% of normal pregnancies, which is a very small percentage. So it just makes you worry. But that can also be seen in babies with Down syndrome. So I was trying not to worry about it, but I was actually worrying now and again about it. Like, I hope the baby doesn't have Down syndrome. Of course, I would love my baby no matter what health problems it had. But you know, you just want a healthy, normal baby. So I was really anxious because they're like, well, you're not gonna have another ultrasound till you're 28 weeks. So I had to wait 8 weeks before finding out if it was still there. They said, if it's still there on the 28-week ultrasound, then we're gonna send you to a specialist and they can just basically see more detail on the ultrasound. So anyway, at this new place, they have more, it seems like high-tech ultrasound machines because they can do the text messaging of the pictures and everything. And that's what the doctor told me, that they have pretty sophisticated ultrasound machines. So anyway, when the lady was doing my ultrasound, we brought up the EIF and she said, oh yeah, and then she showed it to me, it was still there. And she goes, I see these all the time in normal pregnancies. And I'm like, okay, well, why is it there in a normal pregnancy? And she's like, honestly, I don't have any idea. She's like, but as the baby gets bigger, it's harder to see it because the baby's getting bigger. It's not that the spot is getting smaller, but you know, the baby's growing and so it's harder to see it. She's like, but I see these all the time, like very frequently in normal pregnancies. And I said, well, my genetic test, because I did do genetic tests, I haven't brought that up to you guys yet, but I did do, because I'm advanced maternal age, I'm gonna be 38 in March. And because I'm advanced maternal age, I had some genetic tests done. I just wanted to be sure that everything was gonna be okay with the baby. I felt like I wanted to prep my brain in advance. Not that it's any easier if there's something wrong, but you know, just kind of have a little advance notice. So all my genetic tests came out normal. The only one I did not do was cystic fibrosis, but I did the one for the chromosomal disorders, for Down syndrome, and for like spina bifida, spinal issues. Those all came out normal. So anyway, after talking to the doctor, she reassured me. She's like, you know, you can have the option of going to a specialist about the EIF. She's like, but we normally send patients who do not have the genetic testing done, that they do find the calcification in the baby's heart. We usually recommend that they go to the specialist. But because you had the genetic test done and they were normal, she's like, I don't really think you need to. She's like, the other thing is on the ultrasound, everything else was normal. There's no other abnormalities. So everything should be fine. Now there is still that small percentage that there could be something wrong, but she said it's so small that she wouldn't worry about it. So my husband and I opted out to see the specialist. We're just hoping everything's fine with the baby. And hopefully next time we won't see that on the ultrasound. I don't know. And then also because I'm advanced maternal age, she wants to do non-stress tests on me and ultrasounds every 2 weeks, starting at 32 weeks. So I kind of like that about this office. Like I felt like they gave me more options. They just talked about things more. Because when I left the other office that I went to at 20 weeks with the EIF, they said not to worry, but I don't know, like they didn't give me reassurance. She didn't say, oh, because your genetic tests were normal, then I wouldn't worry about it. Like, I don't know. I just felt like I was reassured more at this office. So I don't know. Just my whole experience there was much better. And I'm just hoping everything with the baby is fine. I mean, as a parent, you just can't help but worry all the time, you know? So yeah, I'm still working out during my pregnancy. I obviously have to do modifications at the gym because I go to a gym that's like a boot camp type class. And so I'm doing modifications, no abdominal exercises, no like planks where I'm on my feet. I can do planks like on my knees, just not on my feet because it puts too much pressure on your abdominal area. And I don't want that abdominal separation, that's for sure. The abdominal wall separation. So I'm trying to think what else. So my SI joint has been hurting like crazy on the right side. So I actually had that problem in my first pregnancy and it never went away. So like when you are pregnant, your joints loosen up and sometimes you can have joint pain for that reason. Well, my SI joint, my sacral iliac joint on the right side never tightened back up after my first pregnancy, and it's just always been pretty painful. Like if I put any pressure on it, if I sit on my butt in a certain position, if I lay down and try to get up, like it hurts a lot. And sometimes I have a hard time getting up. But being that I worked out really hard all last year, I felt like that really like helped a lot and improved the situation, but it never like fully got 100% better. But now that I'm pregnant again, it's been hurting me like crazy. So I talked to the doctor about it. She said I could buy this like little belt thing on Amazon. I just have to look it up. It's like SI joint belt or something like that. So I don't know, considering looking that up just to see what the reviews say, but I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be a problem the rest of my life. Like it's never gonna go away. It didn't go away in the first pregnancy, so I don't expect it to this time, which kind of sucks. So I've been having that going on. I'm very winded. Like I work out like 5 days a week, but going up my stairs, I'm so winded, like more than working out. It's crazy. I just, especially after I eat, I think because when I eat something, it's probably pushing everything up into my lungs. So then there's less lung capacity, and that's probably why I'm winded. I don't know. And I'm actually winded talking in this video. I feel like I'm out of breath, so I apologize if I sound like I'm like huffing and puffing, because I kind of am. Oh, baby names. Ugh, I have not discussed this. So my husband and I have taken a very long time to pick a name. I actually had the first name picked since I found out it was a boy. I don't know if you guys saw my gender reveal video. I will link it above as well as down below in case you guys want to check that out. But we are having a boy. If you're new to my channel, my first child is a girl. She's 3.5. They will be almost 4 years apart by the time I have the baby in April. And in that video, if you guys watched it, she was very upset that it was a boy. So she's very happy about it now. She kisses my belly and says his name and everything like that, and says that she loves him. So she's excited now. So I thought the video was kind of funny because she was just so upset. And I was like, this is not the reaction I expected from her. But all her cousins are girls, so she kind of is used to playing with girls, I guess. But she's warmed up to the idea. So we're having a boy, if you didn't know, and I picked the name like right when I found out I was a boy. Like I went through baby name websites and I had this name that I picked and I loved it. And I really had to convince my husband to love it. Like, he liked it, but he was like, I don't know. And he kept coming up with all these names that I did not like. Maybe I should do a video on names that we didn't pick or something. I don't know. But the name that we picked is Crew, and we did not know how we wanted to spell it. Everybody in his family, all the people I talked to, they love that name. So I was like, see, everybody loves it. And so I had to kind of convince him. And then he kept picking all these middle names that I just didn't love. And then he was like, well, I sacrificed the first name and you're not making any sacrifices. I'm like, I'm willing to make a sacrifice on the name, but I don't want to hate the name. Like, I don't want to call my son a name that I do not like at all. Like, I have to like the name, you know what I mean? And I expect him to like the name. I don't want to pick a name that he doesn't like either. So I feel like, yes, I am compromising. So anyway, it took a long time for him to finally agree on a spelling of the name. So we're gonna spell it C-R-E-W. And after we had picked the name, like when I was 3 months pregnant, my sister-in-law, she was like, don't you know that, I think her name's Johanna Gaines or something like that, from the show Fixer Upper. I don't really watch that show too much. I've seen it here and there. When my mom comes to visit, she likes to watch it, but I don't watch it religiously or anything. And I was like, I don't know who that is. She's like, she's the lady who does the show Fixer Upper. She's like, they just had a baby boy and they named him Crew. And I was like, seriously? So I was like, well, I'm not changing my thoughts on that name. Like, I love that name. So that's the name that I want to go with. And so anyway, I feel like that name is kind of going to be popular now because of her, you know, being on the show and everything. Because I follow some Instagram accounts that make like signs for babies, nurseries, like with their name on it above their bed or whatever. And there has been a couple of them where they posted a picture of somebody's custom order and it had Crew as the baby's name. And I was like, really? But I wasn't going to change my mind about the name. Like, I was so set on that name. I just love it. I love that it's not very common, but it might be now. So we talked about spelling it C-R-U, C-R-U-E. And then I was like, what about K? Because my daughter's name starts with a K and my name starts with a K. My husband's like, I don't like a boy name starting with a K. So we recently discussed that we're gonna spell it with a W at the end, C-R-E-W. And I let him kind of pick the middle name, although it was kind of on my list of names a while back. I just wasn't sure how I felt about it. But it's gonna be Crew Brady, B-R-A-D-Y. And so that's gonna be the baby's name. I already ordered a custom sign. When it gets here, I will show you guys in the nursery and everything. But yeah, so baby Crew. I love the name so much. So I feel like I've been talking my head off like so fast. I hope you guys are catching up with all that I'm saying. Well, I haven't been sleeping very well, which is common. I'm in my 3rd trimester now, so it's just hard to get comfortable. And then like last night the dogs were, one was growling at the other in the cage in our room. So that woke me up and then I couldn't go back to bed. I don't know. So, but other than that, I think I covered almost everything, I hope. So if you guys have any questions or if you guys are pregnant, let me know some of your experiences down below. I don't have any stretch marks. I'll show you guys my baby bump. So here I am. That's my belly. It's getting big. I feel like I'm really big, but people keep telling me I'm tiny. And I'm like, I feel big. And I'm like, I feel big and I still have 11 weeks to go starting tomorrow. So I'm like, gosh, I hope I don't get too much bigger. Oh, and on the ultrasound, the doctor said the baby was in the 44 percentile. So that's a little under the average, but you know, it's pretty close because it's almost 50%. But I'm hoping this baby's not as big as my daughter. My daughter was 8 pounds 4 ounces. And she was a big baby. She's still big. She's 3.5. She wears a size 6X in clothes. She's just a tall girl. She's just big. I don't know. She was 8 pounds 4 ounces. So I'm hoping this baby's a little bit smaller. And being that I've worked out my entire pregnancy, I'm just hoping this delivery is so much smoother and easier than the first one. So yeah, that's my baby bump. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. Bye.